Now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk Hookup. Get ready for more of the best fishing information and the hottest tips on improving your angling skills. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Yamaha Outboards. Reliability starts here. Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. And by Rancho Leonero, where your wildest Baja dreams come true. And now, Southern California's sports fishing voice, the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray and Rock Cod Rick Maxa.
Welcome back, hour number 2. Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Pete Gray here with Rock Cod Rick Maxa, having a great show here, talking tackle with Mike Nguyen and Mark Lampson from Turner's Outdoorsman, the 18 stores throughout Southern California. Talking all kinds of good stuff and learning a lot, too, from these guys.
Yeah, you're not kidding. I mean, and that's exactly it. That's like we said at the beginning of the store. That's the beauty of Turner's Outdoorsman is you get chain, volume, pricing, inventory, whatever you need, they got it. You know, if they don't have it in the one store, they'll ship it to the other. But you get knowledge like these guys are here. You know,
shooting sports, tackle, archery now.
Yeah,
got it all.
So fortunate to have that many stores around town. Turner's Outdoorsman, and good info. Yeah, we're having a great time. If you want to join us, be a part of it, get in on this great information. Give us a call. We'd love to hear from you this morning. We do have an open phone line too. It has been full all morning long, and during the break, someone dropped off. So if you want a shot right now, 877-792-1090. Open right now, 877-792-1090. Or toll-free. That toll-free number is 858-457-1090. One more time, 858-457-1090. It's open right now. And also a couple of great prizes. And thanks again to everybody at Turner's Outdoorsman for giving us an awesome couple of prizes. 2 lucky callers at the end of the show today, each of which are going to win a $50 gift card to Turner's Outdoorsman. And it's good at any one of the locations. You can even use the gift card in the online store. And I checked out your online site when we were during the break. Really nice job. You guys did an awesome job with the online store. It's really easy to see, good source of information, easy to navigate. It's really cool. You did a great job.
Thank you. So you can use those cards on the online store. Also, too, when you're online, sign up for their weekly emails, too. They're really, really good. I mean, they tell you about the specials that are going on, both in shooting as well as fishing.
Yeah, weekly sales, and then, the holidays are right around the corner.
Yeah.
Get on our mailing list. Our holiday flyer will be coming out here in a little under a month. Yeah.
These guys
right around the corner.
Oh my gosh,
it's been busy. Yeah.
And then Fred Hall right after that.
Yeah, Fred Hall right around the corner also. It's been a busy fall.
Good timing there. Well, let's go ahead and find out what's biting out there.
You got it, bro. It's time for the Catch Port. Today it's sponsored in part by the Sato Crimp and Winder Company, where they only make products that work. If you want to end connection failures, you need to get that Sato Crimp Kit. It's a must-have piece of gear for your next fishing trip to help you catch everything from the school-size tuna to full record size. Hey, with the all-brass crimps and other features, it's better than ever. It's the favorite connection method on the Royal Star, the Royal Polaris, the American Angler, and most of the other top boats. And if you haven't already, you should make it your preferred connection for Spectra to Moto or Spectra to Fluorocarbon. You can get it at SatoCrimpandWinder.com.
All right, and also for that Guadalupe fish.
Stealth.
Stealth, the Sato Crimp.
I'm, excited about the Guadalupe. So much stuff that was all about Guadalupe has kind of faded away a little bit. And that was the other thing that was so cool about that island was, obviously not right now because nobody's fished there in a long time, and I'll bet it's going to be really good. But Guadalupe was all about that, you had to earn them. You had to angle for them a little bit, and you had to work a little harder, and then you were rewarded.
That's it.
And things like that. Sato Crimp, where it's a real stealthy piece of gear to get that bite. I'm so stoked we're going to go fishing there again.
For sure. Mark Wish from Pacific Edge. What's up, Mark?
Well, Pete, it's like this. Oh, my God, guys. Without a doubt, this has to be the week of the Wahoo here in Southern California. There's been so much that's happened. Private boaters have really done a number on this fish, scattered from, the rock pile bite down below the Coronados to open water jig strikes around outside the 9 there up to the stock spot that's been holding them for quite some time, and last year, too, from the domes to Oceanside and up to the influx of Wahoo in the newly described toothy triangle anchored by the rigs tight to the slide at the east end of Catalina and the 14-mile bank. That little triangle is seriously holding some fish right now, guys. But the top boat this week that I'm aware of had 6. That's not bad fishing for a private boat. A few had 3s and 4s and countless 1s and 2s and, of course, some 0s in there. But it's mostly troll fish on marauders, X-Raps, the braid runners, the halcos like that. That stuff's all getting bit. Guys fishing heavy lead head type jigs. Of course, rigged on fire, they're getting bit. And then you guys all heard about that legend, that sport boat catch with 29 fish. Well, I mean, that's an amazing catch, but what's more interesting to me is that was 5 individual troll stops, and that a bunch of savvy guys fishing wired up jigs and bombs on at least 40 or 50 pound, getting those fish, casting, which a lot of private boat guys are not taking advantage of. You get a jig strike, man, have some guys firing out the iron and firing out the bombs and whine like hell, and you can up your catch substantially. We got good volume of fish. It's just like long range fishing right here in our backyard. So it's crazy. Now in other news, and believe it or not, there actually is some marlin fishing still biting way up west there, but it looks like that stuff's starting to get on the move. The water's moving a little bit, and then area of fish is spreading out a little bit. There was fish around SBI this past week, then there's fish right on the Osborne Bank proper, and then fish right on the Tanner Bank proper. So there's quite a bit of that striped marlin around. There's still blues and blacks biting. So it's good on that front. Unfortunately, the tuners, the seiners did some damage to the tuna up on the Osborne there, but there's some still fish in that zone, and that bank will probably reload with hopefully less than commercial volume so they stay off it. But all the dolphin schools between SBI and Catalina have been holding yellowfin tuna. It's mostly that smaller grade fish. The likelihood is there's some big ones around, but definitely good sign of that tuna on the dolphins there. And got one report yesterday of a guy just outside the rigs got on a spot of that tanker grade yellowfin and hooked one on a jig there. And that is, I think, shape of things to come. It's going to be interesting when that stuff starts trickling down here. And then just for fun, we're going to roll the mid-October El Nino highlight reel here with a few bits and pieces. So a Popeye Catalufa was caught. I saw the picture. And
rad.
Full-on long-range tropical stuff for you guys that don't know what that is. And then there's a school of small amberjack living underneath the rigs up here out in front of Long Beach. Amberjack, guys. The local population of broomtail groupers that have hopefully been kept secret from the divers are thriving. And the weather buoy last night on it's actually outside the Cortez, in 18 knots of wind came up to 72 degrees. And then talking to Danny from Fish Dope, who does that fantastic Fish Dope report, and Danny told me he saw a report of 2 wahoo being seen from the glass bottom boat by Avalon.
Yeah. Rick Jensen from Sport Fishing Financial showed me a picture of his buddy runs the sub in Avalon, showed me a picture from the sub in Avalon of 2 wahoo swimming by.
There you go.
This is crazy. Yeah. This is just crazy, man.
Well, Rick has a story about those schools of wahoo too, right, Rick?
Yeah, I was going to say, I was just shaking my head. Yep, Mark's totally right. When we had our first jig strike of the day, we got lucky and got those 4. The first strike that we had, we tried to maintain calmness, which, it's wahoo fishing. Everybody's excited, and you're a little bit, going crazy trying to clear jigs and do all the right things. But as soon as we got a jig strike, we threw a little dipper of bait in, and we casted a couple of bombs while we were, kind of clearing the lines and doing the other things. And then, and we kind of kept the boat in gear, just idling forward. And then out of the corner of the eye, it's like, man, that looked like a boil right there. And so we threw another little dipper of bait. We had probably 8 or 10 of those things.
Wahoo.
Wahoo, boiled up around the boat. And Doug had a fish bite the bomb right on the corner of the boat. Kind of blew up on it, big, boil that didn't even attach itself. Kind of missed the lure, but fish boiled up. I mean, there was a school of 8 or 10 of those things. So you're right that. We're all so excited when the clicker goes off that sometimes you get that tunnel vision. But I just want to agree with what Mark was saying. Treat it like you would a tuna stop. Put a little bait in the water, put the jig and bomb in the water, and just worry about the other trolling lines. They'll dangle a little bit, try and get 1 or 2 going, and then worry about clearing the lines.
Yeah. And the other tip, remember I talked about the miracle fish aboard Randy Bickler's boat with Mark Wheeler. They caught those 2 fishing 90-pound multi-strand wire, slow trolling a mackerel.
Really?
Oh, yeah. That's a whole nother story right there.
No kidding. Okay.
How about that, huh?
That's wildness going on right now.
Want to learn about that slow trolling stuff? There's some written about slow trolling live bait for wahoo, but not a lot. But if you guys want to study up on slow trolling live baits for toothy stuff that are almost like wahoo, just do a search for king mackerel around Florida and
there you go.
All that. Because those guys really got it wired, so to speak, as to how to do that. And it works fine for our fish here. So anyway.
We know that fishdope.com, Ganny had all the dope right there. If you want to save $20 on a new membership to fishdope.com, Hookup Now, lowercase, no space. Hookup Now is the code. And, Mark, how do we find you?
We're on the corner of Bolsa Chica and Edinger in Huntington Beach. Phone number is 714-840-4262. The website, PacificEdgeTackle.com. And go catch a wahoo, guys. This is hopefully it's not a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, but you never know with these crazy things.
You never know. Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Appreciate that. Talk to you next Saturday.
All right.
You got it.
Let's head on down now to San Diego, over to Seaforth Sport Fishing, and talk to our buddy Marcos. Marcos, what's going on at Seaforth?
Good morning, guys.
How we doing?
I'm doing all right. Kind of similar fishing we've seen over the last, summer here. The half-day trip still picking away at some yellowtail. Pretty good fishing on Thursday. They had 23 yellowtail, 18 bonita. Yesterday a little bit slower. They had 6 skipjack, 1 yellowtail, 6 bonita, some bass on there. So very similar to what we've been seeing. There's going to be keep running here as long as you guys are coming out. 3-quarter day, we've had a little switch up. The San Diego decided to start fishing the islands. They were running really far offshore. And while they had a couple good days in there, Thursday they actually had 52 yellowfin, 22 dorado, 35 skipjack. It was definitely becoming a hit-or-miss situation, so they were having some rough trips there. So they're going to be going down the islands, which, of course, brings those visas into play. So if you're making reservations for 3-quarter day, definitely double-check the trip you're on, see if a passport's required. We talked about it a lot earlier in the year, and obviously it hasn't been an issue over the last few months here, but get your passport. A lot of these trips, especially as the summer comes to an end, start fishing islands, you're going to need those passports there. Check the website, seaforthlanding.com. We have our schedule up there for the half days, those 3-quarter days. San Diego running down to islands, New Seaforth when they can. They're running some of the offshore trips. We still got those 1 days going out. They're still seeing yellowfin, dorado, skipjack, actually wahoo. Saw 1 spearfish yesterday, yellowtail. So a few exotics in there. And, man, this wahoo fishing is almost becoming boring. Man, everyone's catching them now. You just need one on the half day, and I think everyone will get bored of it there. So check those out. seaforthlanding.com. We have our half-day, 3-quarter day, like I said, 1 day. You can make reservations directly online. If you have any questions, you'd rather talk to someone, give us a call at the office, 619-224-3383. But again, it's coming into play. If you don't have a passport yet, definitely something you want to look into for these upcoming trips.
That's good info, Marcos. We appreciate that. And like you said, if you get it now, just go right now. Go right now, and if you go to one of the passport issuing agencies, you're going to get that thing. A good story, Darren, who works in our tackle store, we all were giving him just the biggest rash. Like, what do you mean? You work in a tackle store and you fish the corner lines. Go get it. Make it happen. Less than 1 week, he went to the issuing agency in San Diego, made an appointment, had his birth certificate, and he went in, he made his appointment, he got it filled out. He had his passport in less than a week. Yeah. No, it's just something you got to go
fishing,
do.
I might also encourage everybody to check the box and get the passport card too. Because if you're going on the boat, rather than carrying your passport, you put it's like a driver's license. Stick it in your wallet. It's right there. That's all you need.
When you want to go buy a gun for Mark Lampson, you got 2 forms of ID.
All right, Marcos. Thanks a lot for that, and we'll talk to you next Saturday.
We'll talk to you then.
See you, Marcos.
All right, appreciate that.
All right, hey, that's going to wrap up our Catch Report, which, again, is sponsored in part by Dana Landing on Mission Bay, your one-stop shop for everything you need to go fishing, a complete saltwater tackle shop, a full deli. They have trips and 6-pack charters, including the new Blackjack, a beautiful 4-pack boat. It's a brand-new lures. It's an awesome, awesome local boat. And when it comes to freshwater tackle, check out East County Bait and Tackle, full of all the freshwater tackle and live bait that you need for a great day in the lake. Dana Landing is right across from SeaWorld, next to the Dana Lawn Tramp in Mission Bay, and East County Bait and Tackle. They're at the end of the 67 freeway at Mapleview and Lakeside. Check out DanaLanding.com.
Let's jump into those jam-packed phone lines.
You got it, man. How about this time we talk to Tom? He's calling us from San Diego this morning. Good morning, Tom. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hi, Tom.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you doing?
Excellent.
Tom?
Good. I have a question for your guests on the new Remington 783, looking at maybe a little 308. But first of all, how am I going to get Rick Jensen out fishing this week when you guys have seemingly tapped him out?
Yeah, well, we're my brother-in-law John from Cleveland, and Rick and I are taking a freediving class from Garo from Gannett Dive Company, and started yesterday afternoon. It was a 6-hour classroom session. Phenomenal experience. And today we do, right after the show, we head up and do pool session and then open water session in La Jolla Cove today and tomorrow, another 8 hours in the water. It's amazing. I mean, if you want what's amazing is what you don't know.
I can
only what
imagine.
You don't know, and how many times I've jumped in the water going, oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
You kill yourself like really easily free diving. So I would encourage everybody to do that. But yeah, it's a very intensive course, and Rick's involved with us on that.
Well, he says he doesn't even want to go fishing this coming week. We're going down to Cabo. He just wants to lay by the pool.
Very good.
I don't blame him. That doesn't sound bad to me either.
Take his mask and snorkel.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, and last week, again, I still have a question on the Remington for your guests, but last week you guys were talking about trolling for wahoo and the different baits. Lures are being used. Did I understand the Rapala 18 was also a good choice?
Mark?
Yeah, that's an old school lure that, there's probably more wahoo caught on that out of Cabo San Lucas than any lure that was ever made. Matter of fact, my friend Rick Lisi and I, when we were down at Rancho Leonero a handful of years ago, we caught one, and that's exactly what we caught it on, was a silver mackerel, Rapala CD18 with a bunch of wire. And we didn't even know they were biting. I just happened to have those in my box. I had to go borrow wire from somebody around the pool. I traded them fluorocarbon, which they didn't have, for wire. We wired it up that day, that evening while we were drinking margaritas, and somehow I still managed to wire it properly. And my buddy Rick got about a 45-pounder, and the guys here at Rancho put it on the barbecue, and we spread it around for everybody to eat that night. And
that's
really,
an
really
awesome
good.
story.
And that X-Trap 20 would be the replacement now. You don't have to worry about it getting out of tune, right?
Yeah, they definitely stay in tune better, and they don't get bit in half.
Indeed. All right, ask your gun question. Quick, Tom.
Okay, well, I have a couple X-Rap 20s that the Cowboys giving away at your remote shows, which is great. The new 783, Remington went back to the drawing board when they had their prior, lower economy gun. Mm-hmm. I've heard that's a great gun. I was looking at the Axis 2, the Savage Axis 2, but how do you compare the new Remington, say, with the Savage or the American Ruger rifle?
They're all good guns. They're kind of like your I wouldn't say entry level, because they're still really good guns, but they're definitely a more affordable package. With all of those manufacturers, they're all great guns. They've been around forever. Really, it's just going to be your preference in the triggers. I don't know how soon you're looking to buy one, but get on our ads, check them out. We always have guns on sale.
Oh, there's a little hint there.
Holidays right around the corner.
Holiday flyer.
Holiday flyer. Are you saying one of those guns might be on sale coming up?
Black Friday is a pretty popular day, and you might be surprised.
All right.
The nice thing also about that Remington right now, we have just, I know it just came off ad recently at like $329. Remington also does have a rebate on those going, I believe, through the end of the year also. I think you get $25 back from Remington also. Nice. So that puts that gun, almost under $300, when you get the rebate and stuff back too.
But like I said, I don't know when you want to buy it, but just keep that in mind.
That out.
All right, thanks a lot for the call this morning.
All right, hey, let's jump right back into him. This time we're going to talk to Kenny. He's calling us from Hawaiian Gardens. What's up, Kenny? Welcome to the show.
Hi, Kenny. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for hanging in there.
Yeah, hey, morning, guys. What a way to start out the show with a Guadalupe opener and stuff like that.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it's real cool. Hey, my son-in-law is a U.S. Marine, first and fifth and stuff. He likes to do a lot of shooting and stuff like that. Been thinking about picking up a firearm, going to the ranges with him and stuff. Because the guys from Turner's run me about getting my permits and my, everything I need to do to be able to purchase a firearm.
That's a good
question. Classes and stuff I can take.
We were asking them the same questions in the breaks here.
Yeah, the first thing you need is a valid California driver's license or ID card that has your current residential address on it. Can't have an old address, and it can't have a P.O. box. For a handgun, you're also going to need a second proof of residency, and that can be a car registration, a utility bill like gas, electric, water, or a cable bill like DirecTV. Any of those work as a second proof. And nowadays, to purchase either a long gun or a handgun, you're going to need a firearm safety card. If you haven't taken that test in the last 10 months here, which started January 1 for the long guns, you'll need to do that. That's a $25 bill out of your pocket that the state's going to get.
How do you take that course? Online or?
No, you take it in any of the stores. We offer
at
it there. At Turner's Outdoorsman, we do offer it there. You can go
do
onto
it right at the counter, right? I mean, that only takes a few
minutes.
minutes.
It's an instant card.
Yeah.
It's about a 10-15 minute test from most people, I would say. We do have a study guide online. You can go to turners.com. Right on our home page, at the bottom of the page, just click on the FSC study guide. 2 PDFs will come up, one in English, one in Spanish, and you can look through basically it kind of takes you through what questions they're going to ask and stuff like that. Once you have all those things, you come in, find the gun you want. We take 30% down on layaway, and start your background check. You have a 10-day waiting period. Once your 10-day waiting period is cleared, you have a 20-day window after that in which to pick up your firearm. You pay for the rest of the gun and go out and have fun.
There you go.
Easy.
Thanks a lot for the call this morning.
Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way, including a big block of your phone calls. More great info just like that. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup with the boys from Turner's Outdoorsman right here on the Mighty 1090.
Inland Boat Center is the destination for your next boat. They've been around 35 years, so they're here to stay with something for everyone. Inland Boat Center has a giant inventory of all types of boats, including the perfect saltwater fishing boats made by Arima and Defiance. Inland Boat Center has a huge 2.5-acre indoor showroom with over 300 new and pre-owned boats, making them the largest boat store on the West Coast. Family-owned and operated, they are proud of their customer service. They take trades of all types. Come check out their inventory of Defiance boats from 20 to 29 feet, or the fantastic selection of the amazing Arima boats from 17 to 21 feet. Inland Boat Center has a full service department, fiberglass repair and upholstery department. Everything you need is under one roof at Inland Boat Center, 681 East San Jacinto in Paris. Check the website for the current inventory and more at inlandboatcenter.com.
Everyone likes special treatment, kind of feel like a VIP. Well, that's how our listeners are treated at Poway Valley Collision. I have personally heard of several stories of how well our friends Jim and Mary take care of their customers that we sent them. Poway Valley Collision is worth the drive from anywhere in the Southland. We know you may not need them today, but when accidents happen, it pays to go to Poway Valley Collision. And listen to this. Our listeners get a special discount that can save you hundreds of dollars on your car or truck repair. Just tell them you listen to the show and you get the deal. They work with most insurance companies, including Auto Club, MetLife, Wawanesa, and more. Just bring your car or truck to them and let Poway Valley Collision do the rest. I've had my truck repaired at Poway Valley Collision, and the job was perfect. So get your vehicle fixed right at Poway Valley Collision. Tell them you listen to Let's Talk Hookup, and they'll save you money on your repair. Poway Valley Collision, 14211 Garden Road in Poway. Check PowayValleyCollision.com.
Time for our Power Pro 60-second seminar on your next fishing trip to get the Power Pro advantage. Now, Turner's Outdoorsman, you guys have Power Pro. What's your favorite to spool up?
I like on the smaller bait casting reels. I like that super slick stuff for the bait casting reels.
Yeah.
As far as for backing on the regular reels, just the standard Power Pro seems to work just fine. It lays just fine, and you're always putting a little bit of top shot over top of it anyway. But especially on the small reels, or like you say, the spin reels, that super slick stuff works really well.
What about color? Do you think the color matters when you're fishing, Mark?
I don't.
No? What about you?
No, I definitely don't think it matters.
No? Okay. All right.
The brighter, the better. I just like to see it.
Want to see where you're at.
Yeah.
Keep it, and everyone's fishing white, so fish something different.
Yeah. And calico fishing. I know you do a lot of calico fishing. Nothing like fishing Power Pro, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You hook those fish, pull them out of that heavy cover.
Yeah.
Stuff.
That's it. Power Pro at your favorite tackle store. Check out PowerPro.com.
Saturday, November 7th, it's Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. Our largest sale ever. Seminars by saltwater experts and incredible deals on tackle. Over 20 tackle manufacturers like Cousins, building high-quality inshore and offshore rods. Cousins rods are ideal for the Southern California angler. Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing, Saturday, November 7th. Check saltwatertackle.com.
Have you checked out the giant Fast Lane kayaks in Mission Bay yet? It's hard to miss, right in the middle of Dana Landing, across from SeaWorld in Mission Bay. This massive 5,500 square foot location is loaded with Hobie Mirage Drive kayaks and all the accessories. They also have a great selection of Hobie clothing, stand-up paddle boards, paddles, and more. Check out the new model Hobie kayaks arriving daily and see the great deals on previous year's models. Even test a kayak or stand-up paddleboard right out their back door on Mission Bay. When it comes to Hobie kayaks, no one does it better than the crew at Fast Lane Kayaks at Dana Landing across from SeaWorld in Mission Bay. Check FastLaneSailing.com.
This is Captain Tim Ekstrom from the long-range vessel Royal Star. With my partners Randy Toussaint and Brian Sims, we have set the bar for the long-range fishing experience. A spring 8-day, summer 5-day, or a fly-down, fly-back 11-day winter trip, we deliver the highest quality long-range voyage you will find. From our premium RSW fish storage to our top-of-the-line chefs and crew, Royal Star distinguishes itself from all others. Want to grab a spot on the Royal Star? Check us out at RoyalStarSportFishing.com or call Tracy at 619-224-4764.
RS 1090 AM Rosarito, Baja California.
You are listening to the home of the Aztecs.
He's gone. Touchdown, Aztecs.
San Diego's sports leader, the Mighty 1090.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
All right, one line open. It's been a busy morning. Here's your chance. 877-792-1090. Open right now. You just heard from Fast Lane Kayaks. Tomorrow on Let's Talk Hookup, 7 and 9 a.m., we're going to have Ron Lane himself in the studio talking fishing and talking kayaks. I'm waiting for somebody to catch a wahoo on a Hobie Mirage Drive kayak. It
wouldn't be the least bit surprised.
I think there was, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, off the Orange County coast.
I think you're right, too. Yeah, there was.
Right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you're right.
It was. I saw it circulating around, and it was two guys that were just out there, and one guy got bit off, and the other guy got his fish.
Just watch those teeth when you pull them on the boat, right?
Oh, dude. That must have been so scary landing that thing on a kayak. I could only imagine.
Yeah, for sure.
Side of the kayak. I'm not sure I'd bring it in.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into those jam-packed phone lines.
Well, jam-packed, they absolutely are. Every single phone tied up right now. Let's jump right into them and talk to Rick. He's calling from Lemon Grove this morning. Rick, good morning. Thanks for hanging in there with us.
Yeah, good morning, guys. When I walk into a tackle store, I'm starting to become overwhelmed looking at lures with sizes, colors, patterns. As a buyer, how do you determine size, color, patterns to buy as a consumer when you become overwhelmed to buy it all? Is there a simple rule of thumb to stay simple in anything like color, sizes, patterns?
You know, tackle's always interesting. You know, you can make it as difficult or as simple as you want. Sticking with standard baitfish colors is always a safe path, and that's why with our guys in the stores, the easiest thing, get the recommendations from the guys behind the counter. You know, they're there to help you. You know, our guys fish all the time. They're on top of the latest trends and what's happening, and they're definitely there to help you.
Mike, you do so much saltwater bass fishing, and that's one of those things where, you could use the same lure 10 times but have the same thing in 20 different colors in the boat. Do you systematically have a reason that you put a color on, or do you know, hey man, I like brown when I'm here, and so that's what I fish 9 times out of 10. I never change it. How do you go about deciding what you're going to do with things like that?
You know, I kind of have my bread and butter stuff that I always fish. You know, it's like I fish a lot of big hammer lures. It's like early in the morning, or if the water's a little off color, red calico hunter. When it's kind of semi-hazy out and you're starting to transition, grunion color. When it's super bright sunny out, I fish blue shad. And those are my bread and butters. I mix it up a lot, and I'll play with stuff. I just try to keep it simple. It's easy to get overwhelmed. You know, it's kind of like you have a dark, kind of a neutral, and then something bright. And that's all based on the conditions, the watercolor, the amount of sunlight. But yeah, I'm one of those guys. My boat would probably weigh 200 pounds less if I kept it.
Well, you got to have it, though.
Yeah, got to have it. You never know.
Totally. You never know.
If the guy bringing along has something that I don't have, man, it eats me up inside.
Just go bay bass fishing with Mark Lampson sometime. and he brings a lot of stuff, but then he's getting bitten. Mike and I look, and I was like, give us one of those.
It's always in my pocket. That's where you got to go. Don't go to my tackle box. You got to go to my pocket. That's where all the secret baits are.
That's it. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. That does free up 858-457-1090. Open right now.
All right. How about next up we talk to Larry. Larry's calling us from the Central Coast. Larry, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey guys, I'm heading down to Baja right now.
Nice.
Right.
First time I've not had a cocktail in my hand listening to your show.
That sounds bad.
Second, I got a text from my friend in Portecitos, who I'm going to go see right now. San Felipe is out of Pacifico. I have 5 cases of Pacifico in my truck just to take to Mexico.
Thank goodness.
Well, at least you got that going.
Okay, second thing is, how far up are the Yellowfin? I'm going down for 16 days. I'm all by myself, just going to goof off the whole way down. I have a house in Bay, LA, so I'm in Portecitos, Gonzaga Bay, with Antonio, Bay of LA, my house is, and my thing is to end up down in Palmas for the tuna shootout this Saturday.
Oh, there you go. I know there were tuna. The tuna in the East Cape were south. There was nothing really up north. So we had to run south almost to the Gordo Bank. So I don't know how much tuna is up in the Sierra Cortez, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you're just going to have, like anything, it's the ability is there and the water is right. I mean, there's fish, there's good wahoo fishing up there. I know that when Jim and Mary fished, they went up to the north this is obviously from the East Cape, but they had good wahoo strikes up there. And I know there was a little bit of
Punta Pescadero
yeah,
and
exactly.
Cerrado Island, stuff like that. It could happen. But, hey, I think you're going to have a good shot when you head down to Cabo for the Western Outdoor News Tuna Shootout. That sounds like fun. Drive carefully, Larry. Thanks a lot for the call this morning.
Dana in La Jolla, you're up next on Let's Talk Hookup. Good morning, Dana.
Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. I just wanted to thank Turner's for, number one, for all the great info that I get every time I go in there. And number two, thank you very much for the firefighter discount. You guys are real patriots.
Wow.
Oh, you're welcome.
Cool.
You're welcome. I'm glad we can help out the locals. Yeah.
Tell us about that.
All law enforcement, firefighters, military, we do offer a discount for them.
That's awesome.
So any of our locations.
Wow.
Cool.
On everything in the store.
As long as it's not already on sale,
As long as
and usually the sale prices are a little better than their discounts anyway, so they get a better value just still buying the sale price. But, yeah, all they got to do is show their ID, and they're good to go.
Yeah. And we want to thank all of you guys for your service.
Yeah, thank you.
Glad you guys. Good job. That's
Thanks,
cool.
Dana. Good call. Thanks a lot for the call this morning. That does free up 858-457-1090. Open right now.
Mike in El Cajon, you're up next. Mike, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, guys. I'm at work, but I'm free.
All right.
A couple questions for Mark. One, I'm trying to find out what's his take on this new legislation that they're trying to pass with the background check, with the ammunition. I personally think it's ridiculous because you're already going to get a background check to get a gun, but so be it. I'm an NRA member, and I don't care if they run background checks on me. We should have them. It's a good thing. But I got two other quick questions. One, I wanted to find out if, when I was in El Cajon, on the new poppers that Shimano has, you only have one of the smaller size. I was wondering how's the stock looking this week for getting some of those smaller ones. And I got one other question about the firearms. Now, I know there's some legislation going past. They're trying to block with some of these assault weapons. If they're sold as kits, it's still legal to purchase. We're not violating any laws, but there's legislation that's going to try to even block that. Is it still legal to get the uppers and lowers sold as a kit?
Well, let's take your first question. Yeah, is some legislature, but believe me, everybody in the NRA, everybody on our side, that we deal with is fighting that. Now, there is already registration in a lot of places for ammunition, possibly not in San Diego County, but in Los Angeles County, you already have to register ammo there. When you go into our Reseda store to buy it, they actually register ammo in the Los Angeles County. As far as a background check for ammo, I think that one's going to be fought pretty hard. I can't ever say, yeah, I don't see that passing or I do see that passing because, the way things happen in California, not really sure about.
So if you're saying if you buy ammo in L.A. at one of the L.A. Turner's Outdoorsman store in L.A. County, you have to have a waiting period?
No, not yet.
No.
But you do have to register. Just like if you go into a pharmacy and you buy Claritin D, you can't buy it right off the shelf. You actually have to register it. You don't have to have a prescription. Well, when they sell it over the counter, they register it, and saying, oh, this person just bought that, so that
they have
a track of it. Yeah.
Okay,
as far as your other gun question goes. You can still buy kits. You can buy lower parts kits. You can buy uppers. You can change them in and out. The only thing that you still need to do is make sure that firearm only holds 10 rounds and that it has a bullet button if it is a semi-automatic centerfire rifle that has a pistol grip, which most of the AR-style guns are. As far as the Shimano poppers and the stock on them, I'm going to let Mike answer that one.
Well, it's been a phenomenal season. A lot of tackle's been sold, and if we all had crystal balls and could have forecasted what would have happened, there would be plenty of inventory. It is tough. Everyone's, pretty back ordered. It's all on order. We're just kind of waiting for it to come in. It was just an unbelievable season. I would have never imagined that it would have been like this.
And stuff is definitely starting to trickle back through. So I would just, just make that your stop. On Wednesdays after work, swing into your local Turner shop because stuff it's starting to trickle in. And it's not huge, giant orders that refill the warehouse where everything's full in every peg, but there's little bits that trickle in time by time. So if that's on a routine in your stop, you can swing by, hang out for a few minutes, walk around the tackle section, BS with the guy behind the counter for a little bit, see if your stuff has started to make its way back in, and that's who's going to get that, the Colt Sniper size that you couldn't find, or that Orca popper that you really wanted. Like, that's just how it happens, because it just trickles in bit by bit.
And always check with your local store and find out what day their truck schedule is.
There you go.
Because we have so many stores, not all the stores get delivered on the same day. Truck deliveries run Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. So every store is going to be different. So make sure that on your local store you're not walking in the day before they get their next truck. Because that week's already been picked over pretty hard.
Good call.
And Elko owns trucks on Tuesday.
There you go, Mike.
You can always give them a call.
Inside. Thanks a lot for the call this morning. That does free up. 858-457-1090. Open right now.
All right. Dennis in Norwalk. You're up next on Let's Talk Hookup. Hi, Dennis.
Morning, Dennis.
Morning, guys.
Morning.
Hey, Dennis.
Rick, you was talking about the bass fishing around the kelp. When you target those, I know you're talking about the fluorocarbon, and when you use the anchovy, or would you use the lure to attract the bass?
I think that's a better question for Mike than me. Starting out private boat calico bass fishing, what would you say?
I mean, if you just want to catch fish, going live bait is definitely the easiest. Nothing.
Especially with chovy.
Yeah, nothing gets those bass going like chovy, and there has been a lot more chovy lately. If you can get a mix, that's always a great deal. You chum the chovy, get the bass going, fly line the sardines for the bigger fish. A lot of times, too, you can just chum them up with the chovy, get them frothing behind the boat, and just start fishing the swim bait and really do some numbers. You don't have to worry about fish swallowing the hook, pinning on a hook, getting picked. You could just keep casting and catching.
And let's face it, there's nothing more fun than getting bites on the swim bait.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Especially all the,
fun.
So much has changed. We keep talking the same thing about the evolution of the bass fishing, and so much of it has been from the tournament series that I know you've been involved with in a lot of years, and seeing, the advent of the weedless baits, and, now there's different styles and sizes of weedless, so it's not just big fish, and it's been really, really fun watching how everything has evolved over the last few years.
Yeah, it's been fun being a part of it. The whole tournament scene, not really. I mean, it's great camaraderie, and you meet a lot of great people, but it's really put a spotlight on bass fishing, and it's introduced a lot of people to new options. I mean, granted, the offshore season's kind of been good and taken away some of that thunder,
but you think about it, we start to forget about how good is our local bass fishing. Oh, man.
It's amazing. I mean, just the amount of big fish being caught this year that a lot of guys aren't really talking about.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean,
the
literally,
and the focus is over.
Yeah, you could go, La Jolla and fish bass, or Point Loma, or Palos Verdes, and not see a boat all day long.
Wow.
And have it to yourself.
Yeah. And then you talk about your 6-day Shogun skiff trip. Some of the places you're going to be going on that with Corey
Geronimo and Bonitos and Cedros and Natividad, and just some of the spots that are just maybe Guadalupe. Just saying, you never know.
There's big calicos there all there.
Oh, I know there is. There absolutely is.
Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot for the call this morning. Let's go live to Captain Mark Gillette aboard the Eclipse. Good morning, Mark.
Hey, good morning, guys. How's it going?
Hey, doing terrific. We're anxious to hear what's going on the Eclipse today.
We're down the beach fishing Mexican waters here, fishing yellowtail, and had a really good morning so far on the yellowtail. Really nice, big, great yellowtail on the second day here of our 2.5-day trip. So be able to fish here till 11 o'clock or so, and then we'll head offshore and hopefully get really lucky and find a kelp here and get some wahoo and dorado or something like that. But really good fishing here this morning. We have another 2.5-day trip leaving next Thursday afternoon. Going to get on board here.
Wow, another 2.5 day. Now, Mike and I were on that Fred Hall trip with you. Had you ever been on the Eclipse before?
No, that was the first time.
Me too. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah,
I
was very impressed.
Yeah, nice operation and super great food and clean boat and top of the line. And a wahoo catcher, too, man.
Yeah.
Caught 4 wahoo on that trip. That broke the ice on the Eclipse. Any wahoo since then?
We've had another wahoo since then, but we're optimistic that we're going to find some more here with after that catch that Chuck had the other day. We're hoping to get on some of that somewhere offshore here today.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, so what the trip? Give us an idea. The trip. When does it depart? Costs and such like that you can come up on that upcoming trip.
Yeah, next Thursday afternoon, 4 o'clock departure time. Fishing the lower section of Baja here for calling at San Martin Island. So you do need your passport. And any indication of what we've seen here on this trip, I highly recommend if you don't have a passport, make sure you go get it, guys. Colonette fishing this winter time is going to be pretty phenomenal, I think. So seeing red crab down here and just good water conditions. So make sure you guys get your passports and come on down.
2.5 day trip. How do we book it?
You just go on to eclipsesportfishing.com and book right online.
All right, fantastic.
And as usual, all of our trips are all-inclusive.
Yeah, that's the cool thing is you pay that one fee. There are no extras. It's like all the and good food too, man.
Yeah, the food is amazing.
Their chef is amazing, and the permits and everything, all inclusive, right? All the whole deal.
Yeah, that's how come I'm getting so fat here.
Oh, Mark. Hey, thanks a lot. EclipseSportFishing.com. You can link that on the Let's Talk Hookup website, hookup1090.com. Go to the links page, and you click on right there. Thanks for the report, Mark. Keep getting them.
Thanks, guys. Have a good Saturday.
Appreciate that very much. Let's go ahead and jump back into the phones, Rick.
Johnny in Irvine, you're up next on Let's Talk Hookup. Thanks for the call, Johnny.
How you doing this morning?
Good,
Johnny.
Hey, I'm not going to have time. I'm fishing Monday, and I'm not going to have time to tackle shop. 2 quick questions. One, when rigging up a Marauder or other towers or Wahoo, what should I be rigging it up? I have plenty of rigging materials in the house. And then the other question is, if I can't get what's the best way to get a Rapala to run true if I have one that's out of kilter?
Mark, you're probably a top-notch tuner of the older style Rapalas, right?
Well, the Rapala is to get him to tune right. If it's the older style, the metal bill, it's usually you just have to bend the bill a little bit the opposite way of which it's not tracking until you get it to track straight. They can be sometimes a little bit, and there's sometimes you'll just never get one after it's been hit a time or two to ever run straight again. That's what's really great about the new ones, because the new ones really track good. As far as rigging those up, a minimum of 135-pound wire on that Rapala. I'd probably put 175 on it. On the Marauders, no reason, they're not worried about wire or anything, so 275, at least a 3-foot piece there with a nice heavy-duty swivel on the other end to attach your 80 or 100 or 130-pound mono to, or whatever you're going to troll with it. I wouldn't troll it on 40-pound. That Marauder pulls pretty hard in the water, that's for sure. But, yeah, definitely got to have wire on that stuff. No reason not to.
Cool. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. Some good questions there. How about this? I mean, how many Wahoo questions have you guys asked in the various days in over the years? I mean, this is the total anomaly here, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Never.
Cool.
It just doesn't happen, right?
And you look at last year, I was amazed. I was like, wow, we're catching local Wahoo. But, I mean, now it's just like, it's just
what an
unbelievable.
opportunity.
Last year we were fishing for local Wahoo, and there were a couple of caught.
Yeah.
This year we're catching them. I mean,
there's legitimate schools.
If you're going out for an entire day of Wahoo trolling, you're going to expect to hook one. It doesn't mean you're going to. I mean, trust me, I've blanked plenty of times this season, but you it's not like you're chasing a unicorn. Like, you're expecting to get a bite when you go out all day.
You're almost disappointed if you don't.
It's pretty crazy, man. It is
I went
pretty
Wahoo
crazy.
fishing and didn't get a bite.
Wow. On Oceanside or Dana Point or something.
I was in cell phone service all day long. That's crazy about how close it is. We were close enough that I was texting my buddy, hey, man, we just got one. Come over here. You're close enough to the beach to call somebody on the phone.
No, even with the tuna fishing this year, I mean, it's so many, it's like instant reports. It's like, I'm on them right now, 3 miles from the harbor.
Here's a picture message of a kelp patty full of yellowfin tuna we just got.
It's crazy.
Amazing.
And how about the big marlin bite? Where some of those really, really big fish came off the 14-mile bank. I mean, that was like where Stotesbury and some of those guys were getting those big fish. 14-mile bank. Well, they call it the 14-mile bank for a reason. It's only 14 miles out of Newport. It's not like you're running all over the place for these things. It's right in your backyard.
Yeah. Where'd you guys get your 400-pound blue marlin?
We were just below the corner of the 101, which is like the next high spot below the rock pile. I mean, just tight to the beach. It's crazy what's going on. I have some really good friends, and congratulations to those guys yesterday. went out there the day previous, went out fishing in the morning, they went 3 for 6 on wahoo, just fishing just below the islands, 3 for 6 on wahoo. Then they went west a little ways, hooked a big marlin on the right gear, pulled on it for quite a while. The fish unfortunately died, sank to the bottom. Very difficult time inching the fish closer and closer to the surface. Got it, brought it into the Marlin Club yesterday morning, 648.
Oh!
I mean, that's 3 for 6 wahoo strikes and a 648-pound blue marlin, never more than 30 miles from home.
That's a pretty good day.
It's crazy what's going on right now.
That's probably the 4th or 5th
right
600-pound marlin has been weighed in this year.
It's been landed. I mean, think about all the ones that were hooked on, typical striped marlin gear that just went away and you never had a shot at.
I pretty much can tell you that I don't think that they've caught 6 over 6 in Cabo.
I bet you're right. I'm sure you're right.
I'm pretty sure that. I think anybody fishing the black and blue here next week in Cabo would love to have one of those fish. They're going to have a multi-million-dollar.
You're going to have to check all the boats, though.
Yeah.
That head down from here to make sure there's nothing in the hold.
They're going to be trolling off of the Coronados instead of Cabo, right?
That was the Desperado that caught those fishing. Congrats to those guys. Pretty rad day, for sure.
That's a pretty good
Southern
day.
California. We're talking about San Diego. Left in the morning, came home at night. 6 wahoo and a 650-pound marlin.
My.
That's so cool.
Well, let's try and sneak in one more call.
You got it. How about real quick, we talked to Mike. He's calling from Carlsbad. What's up, Mike?
Thanks for joining us, Mike.
Good morning, gentlemen. Kind of my question was answered, but what kind of wire do you normally use to wire up those Rapalas with? And in Kona, we used to use piano wire, but it seems like you guys are using something else.
Good question.
Yeah.
I think out here we use more of the multi-strand wire, whether it's either the 7-strand or the 49-strand wire. I just think it's easier to use. People can crimp it easier. The piano wire, single-strand wire is a lot more difficult in order to do your connections with. You have to be a little more savvy to be able to use that stuff. And if you're in Hawaii and you know how to use that stuff, sure, it still works great now. But
what about if you take the X-Rap 20s? What about the treble hooks? Well, everybody kind of knows that's not the greatest thing for a wahoo. Should you switch out the hooks? Is it going to change the action of the lure? What do you think?
I believe it does change the action of the lure.
So you just want to stick with the
the only other way you could do it is if you could find a single hook with the same basic weight. Now, maybe some of the new owner hooks that are out where the eyes kind of turn 90 degrees differently so that it rides correctly, on a lure, then you could do that. Or I know some guys that used to take and put the double albacore hook on the back, take the belly hook off of those too. But again, that's on the older lures.
Yeah,
it's definitely like on the standard CDs. Those are definitely a lot more touchy than the new X-Raps and the Yozuri Hydro Mags and stuff like that. Those usually handle a hook change a lot better than the original CDs.
You just have to change it and take a look at it in the pattern and see how it's carrying.
Yeah, and it can get a little frustrating.
But
Bring some split ring pliers with you and some new hooks with you. You can change it on the field.
You go. But there's a lot of wahoo being caught on treble hooks.
I was going to say the same thing. That being, you're right for sure. Is that the most ideal hook? If you were going to target a wahoo, would you pick that hook for it? Probably not. That being said, there has been a lot of wahoo caught on X-Rap 20s and 30s right out of the box. Put it in the water.
Yep. Yeah, our trollfish on the Eclipse was on treble hook on an X-Rap.
On black and purple.
Yeah,
that's it. True, but he had wire on it.
He did have wire on it.
Yeah,
but with treble hooks. But it was treble hooks, and he got it.
There you go.
For sure. Hey, thanks a lot for the call this morning.
Hey, when we come back, we're going to find out what 2 lucky guys, they got $50 shopping sprees coming their way. You stay tuned. There's more Let's Talk Hookup right here on the Mighty 1090.
I'm very excited to share my experience with the new Simrad NSS Evo 2 touchscreen chart plotter and sonar unit I just installed on my boat. I've been a Simrad electronics fan for many years and always enjoyed the ease of use and incredible technology. Last year I installed the new 4G broadband radar and could not believe the difference. So this year I upgraded to the new NSS Evo 2 and it's amazing. With an easy to use tablet style interface that's fresh but familiar, the Simrad NSS Evo 2 combines a multi-touch screen with push-to-select rotary dial for precision control and speedy response. The core of any marine electronics for me is how it marks fish. And the new NSS Evo 2 with built-in Sonar Hub sounder technology, including chirp and structure scan, can't be beat. Now, the true test is whether I need to pick up the manual to figure it out. And guess what? The new Simrad gear is so easy, I didn't need it. There's a lot more to the new Simrad NSS Evo 2 system I'd like to tell you, but best to just go to your local Simrad dealer and check it out. Or see simrad-yachting.com for more details.
Saturday, November 7th, it's Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. Our largest sale ever. Seminars by saltwater experts and incredible deals on tackle. Plus, over 20 tackle manufacturers like Costa, building high-quality polarized eyewear for serious saltwater anglers. Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing, Saturday, November 7th. Check saltwatertackle.com.
Are you feeling that itch to get out on the water? Come fishing on the American Angler and reacquaint yourself with some familiar faces and make new friends. Captain owners Brian Kiyohara and Sam Patella take pride in every aspect of the American Angler operation, from their loyal and trusted crew to the sashimi-grade fresh fish you'll take home. It's easy to find a vacation that fits your schedule. We have everything from day-and-a-half to 10-day trips and longer. Call me at the office, 619-223-5414, or check us out at AmericanAnglerSportFishing.com. We want you to become a part of the American Angler family.
My Angler H2O. I will never use that fakey fluorescent pink bait or drag my hula popper through the mud. I will outmaneuver drought-exposed stumps, rocks, and submerged station wagons, and outsmart the ravenous river otter. I will save water by taking shorter showers for higher lakes, and I will always, always wear my life jacket.
What's your H2O? Tell us at BoatCalifornia.com. The California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways reminds you to wear it, California.
No matter the fishing conditions, count on the Seaguar family of fluorocarbon leader material to help you catch more fish. Fluoro Premier has a smaller diameter with the highest break strength. Plus, it is super soft. When bites are tough, tie on Fluoro Premier. Blue Label is tough as nails with incredible abrasion resistance and impact strength. And new Pink Label is the choice for tough light conditions, giving you a little more visibility for better line control. Pick up a spool of Seaguar at your favorite tackle dealer or visit Seaguar.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Right, I know thing a lot of guys are waiting for. $50 gift card to Turner's Outdoorsman going to Matt in La Mesa and Shane in Long Beach. Guys, congratulations. The beauty of Turner's, their stores in both of your backyard.
Yeah, exactly. So for Matt in La Mesa, he'd probably go to El Cajon.
For sure.
Right? Yeah. Or you can go to San Marcos, or you can go to Kearney Mesa. Yeah.
Too.
And for the Long Beach one?
Signal Hill store on Willow.
Right there.
Yeah. Willow and Cherry.
Yeah, perfect. Well, 18 different stores throughout Southern California, spread from Camarillo, or not Camarillo, but Oxnard down to
El
Cajon. Yeah. And how do we find out all the information? How do we find our local Turner's Outdoorsman?
www.turners.com.
All right. And sign up for those email
Get
blasts.
on our email
I'm
list.
on it. I look at them.
Get email lists, mailing lists for our holiday flyers. The holidays are right around the corner.
And there's some amazing
deals. We heard
it's going to be good.
We heard what you were leaking.
We were picking up what you were leaking.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, guys, for taking the time to come in here. Appreciate that very much. And thank you for listening today. We're going to be back tomorrow morning, 7 and 9 a.m. We have Mr. Ron Lane from Fast Lane Kayaks coming into the studio talking kayak fishing. And he likes to fish a lot of stuff. So we'll be just talking fishing tomorrow, 7 and 9 a.m. Want to thank our buddy Ryan on the phones there, and, of course, our big buddy Adam on the board there, keeps us on the air and does our archives, too, at hookup1090.com. So thank you guys for all that. Thanks for listening today. We'll see you tomorrow morning right here on the Mighty 1090.